I do mindset coaching with the Victory Mindset Academy, and I help people shift from a white belt mind lock to a black belt mind shift. And I'm a real grandmaster in the martial arts. I've been doing martial arts for 41 years. I'm a seventh degree grandmaster, and I'm in the Black Belt Hall of Fame, actually several. And I'm in 2 movies and a comic book series. And but I don't ask anybody to call me the title. I don't care about that. It's more about who can I uplift with my experiences, and that's what I do. So it's really about using the martial arts and the black belt ideologies to improve your life. And through my own personal development, I've tried to go. It helps me because I've developed through my own reading and training and coaching, my own 5 pillars, which are health, wealth, mindset, faith, and family. And like a rising tide raises all the ships in your life. And that's why, this book is getting published soon and going to come out. That's me. So, and just telling my story and the challenges. All right. So let's see if we can get this to go now. That's weird. I think because I added Instagram, maybe it wants my stream key. It was working fine before. Let's try one more time, and let's go live and play the intro. If that doesn't happen, I'll cancel Insta and I'll post to it later.
When I send all my doubts and demons on their way, every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now today.
Hey, folks, how you doing? This is Coach Roger coming to you live, and I appreciate all of you. We're having some technical difficulties with Facebook, but that's okay. We're live on Insta, and we will soon be live on YouTube as well. So let me just dive right into it. I appreciate all of you being here. You get the victory bell, and let me tell you all about my next amazing guest. Now, that's going to flip your lid. Check this out. Mayim Vega, a former NASA computer scientist, turned holistic healer. She founded Aruka.com to empower individuals to become holistic healers for themselves and their families and their communities. She overcame a personal health crisis after the modern medical system failed her. This battle fuels her dedication to helping others reclaim their health and their wellness. And you know that I know about that too. So here we go. Without any further delay, let's welcome the super talented, super beautiful, the person who walked uphill to school both ways in the snow, barefoot, the one and only Mayim Vega. Hello, Mayim. Welcome to the show. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. Thank you, Raja. That was super funny.
It's super fun. That's right. That's what I say with this show. It's 3 F's. It's fast, furious, fun. So we got to keep up. All right. This is strange. All right. So, and if you want to have a lot of fun with us, you get a victory bell if you click the link down below and you grab all of the speaker gifts. That's right. And bonus, if you upgrade to VIP, you get even more outstanding gifts. So make sure you grab those. All right. So without any further delay, let's just dive right in. So, I want to hear all about, because I'm a big. When I was a kid, I always wanted to go into space. I always wanted to be an astronaut. So what's it like to work at NASA? I mean, you worked on. You said you worked as a computer scientist. So like, did you ever go into any of the major stations, or did you get to see anything cool? I mean, tell me all about it.
Well, we had the biggest hangar at the Moffett Field Air Base over there, and we also had a lot of interesting speakers that would come maybe once every month or every other month. Just scientists and researchers giving their talks and sharing their new ideas. So it was really a fun and exciting place. It wasn't profit driven. It's nonprofit, obviously. So the work environment was a lot of fun. My coworker worked on the Mars rover, And so he programmed that, collected the
Yay.
data, got it sent off to scientists to process that data. So
That's
it was
fantastic. I
fun.
love that. I mean, that's just incredible. Just being a part of that whole experience. I have a friend of mine from Toastmasters who worked at JPL, and so he would always used to tell me about like the renovations and what they would do in the connections with all the teams, just getting the landers made and all the data analysis. So you guys are all the heroes behind the scenes. I know that. So, great job. I just, I feel like I say like, thank you for your service. um, and so how did you go from becoming a NASA computer scientist and then shifting gears into becoming a holistic healer? Now, that's an interesting turn of events. So how did that transpire?
Well, basically, I faced a modern medical crisis that
Yeah.
the health industry couldn't solve for me. I had
Mhm.
debilitating migraines to the point where I couldn't function anymore. I
Mm.
became an entrepreneur to be a work from home mom. So I gave
Yeah.
up my career at NASA. And then as an entrepreneur, I was under a lot of stress. And also, I was trying to be vegetarian and vegan. But I didn't know that those were actually leading to my pain. And I went to the
Really?
doctor.
Huh.
I went to the doctor, and she also couldn't figure it out. She thought that I had a brain tumor, but then after running a bunch of tests and giving me a CT scan, she said, "Well, good news, you don't have a brain tumor. Bad news, we have no idea what's wrong with you. Here's some Valium." And just kind of
Oh,
sent me off on my way. And the Valium didn't work any better than the over-the-counter drugs that I took. So that's when I just decided to start studying nutrition, herbalism,
yeah.
holistic health, and I basically found my own path. I found out about my B12 deficiency, and
Yeah.
with my engineering mind, I was like, well, why am I B12 deficient? And
Yeah.
I realized it's because of my vegetarian vegan diet. So I had to change my diet. And then I also realized that the stress of my having my business,
Hmm.
I was new to all of it. And so and I was a young mom, also taking care of two children. So all that stress really
Yeah.
got to me. So I had to realize, I had to just trust the process more and stop working sleepless nights and basics like that. And that helped me. All that, dealt with the root cause.
It does. It does. And so what? So besides besides the like B12 deficiency, like, did you find anything else that was maybe in your friends or your family that people were being deficient in and they needed guidance in?
Well, yeah, shortly after, I became certified in nutrition, herbalism, holistic health,
Uh,
I started aruka.com, and
yeah.
I just started helping people, basically when the modern medical system couldn't give them any answers.
Hmm.
Same thing, just like me, they turned to holistic ways. And yeah, the B12 helps a lot of people. Sometimes if they have headaches or migraines, it could be a magnesium deficiency. It
Hmm.
about too much screen time, too much exposure to EMFs
Yeah.
or blue lights.
Yep.
There's a host of things that could be. And I think, medical doctors are starting to wake up to the holistic approach because more and more people are turning to it.
Yeah.
So I have some people in my program who are in the medical profession, doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, etc. But also just regular people who just want to learn the holistic way to be healthy and heal.
Gotcha. Oh, I love it. Um, like I gotta say, one thing I found myself is that uh, for the past, gosh, as long as I remember, since the end of high school, I had um, I used to be wheezing after cross country and after track practice, and all my friends were saying, "Oh, you got asthma." I'm like, "No, no, 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 you don't. They're just pulling my leg." It wasn't until college, second year of college, finally, when I went for a run with like one of my buddies on campus, he said, "Dude, you have asthma. Why don't you go get checked out?" I said, "No, I don't want to get checked out. I don't have asthma." I went to the doctors. I went to the pulmonologist. I have asthma. I didn't realize it for years. And then for the next 30 plus years, they put me on inhalers, uh, they two different things like that were like a like a flow vent and a Ceravent, and then a albuterol for like emergency like rescue inhalers. And over the years, I felt like it never improved and it got worse. And if anything, because of all those constant corticosteroids being pumped in your body, it ends up being twice as hard to lose weight. You start gaining, and it starts to send you down a spiral. So I remember years ago, finally said, you know what, I got to find a way to stop this. And so I had a car accident where I gained 75 pounds after the car accident in 2018, and it just completely destroyed my health. And so as a result of 6 years of trying and failing to lose that weight, the doctors really couldn't improve anything. So I started to go like you on my own journey.
Hmm.
And then in the last year, I realized I figured out what worked for me, and I lost 48 pounds. And also, I cured my asthma after 30 years of taking inhalers. For the past 18 months, I've not taken a single inhaler. So now all my inhalers I still have in my shelf in my closet. I'm like, well, they're expired now. I just kept them around just in case. Never even opened them. So now I got to throw them out. And what a great feeling. And so you went through that amazing journey too. And I'm so happy for you that, when you start to meet people and they start to talk about their health problems, what is it that you tell them to help them to get on the right path?
Well, it depends on what they tell me first, of course.
Yeah.
I take a full assessment of what their symptoms are, what their diet's like, what medicines are they taking,
Hmm.
what their outlook is on life. What are their habits like exercise? What's their living
Hmm.
environment like? What are their relationships like? It's really a
Right.
very holistic approach. And then, in terms of, for example, if they're taking certain medications, a very simple thing that I do for them is I just look up what the side effects are and show them how to do that, and show them, that sometimes, possibly, some of the things that they're experiencing are because of the side effects of the medications that they're taking. And a lot of times they really don't know that. And then, in terms of nutrition and supplements and things like that. I'm not a doctor, so I can't
Yeah.
prescribe, treat, or diagnose, but my prescriptions are books and
Yeah.
videos and
Yeah.
articles. My prescriptions are basically knowledge. So I
Yeah.
really just empower people, and point them in the direction so that they can start to empower themselves and try to figure out themselves what may be wrong with them.
Oh, I love that. And so now, as part of Potapalooza today, we are going live, and so every speaker is going to give away a gift to the audience. Like, what is your gift that you want to share with the audience to help them?
Yes, well, actually, it's at arukah.com, arukah.com.
Mm.
8 secrets to becoming a holistic healer. And that's, you have to press on the free, or no, not free, become a healer button or something like that. And the
Hmm.
full URL is arukah.com/free. And basically, I explain, my method for achieving holistic health and healing and becoming a
Hmm.
confident and effective holistic healer.
Got it. Okay. So now also click on the link down below, because then all the VIP gifts will also be included with that if you upgrade to VIP as well. So now, what else can you what is your one what is the one main tip that you give to people to start to get them set on their new course of health in life? Because we've all been told a lot of things growing up about what to eat, how to sleep, how to exercise, and how many fad diets there are. It's just crazy to think that there's so many out there that first thing I'll tell you, don't diet. It doesn't work. When I stopped dieting, that's when I lost all my weight. But what do you tell people?
Well, I think a story shares it best.
Hmm.
There is a holistic medical doctor and dentist by the
Hmm.
name of Dr. Weston A. Price,
Hmm.
and he traveled all around the world, and he's very famous. A lot of
I've heard
doctors
that
and
name. Yeah.
yes, they
Hmm.
study him. But so he traveled all around the world studying different native people groups, and he found out that they had excellent health. They didn't have all the chronic diseases that we have in our Western world, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, etc.
Yep.
They had excellent dental health, no cavities or plaque or anything like that, even though they didn't brush their teeth.
Oh,
And also they had their teeth had excellent form. They weren't like crooked or, anything like that. So they had excellent dental health. And by the age that our women here in the Western world, we start going into menopause and having hot flashes and all these things. And their women in these native tribes, they were still fertile. They were still going. The men had all of their cognitive
wow.
powers. They weren't getting
Hmm.
dementia or they didn't have like terrible back pain, things like that. And so, what were their diet and lifestyles like? Well, they primarily hunted, and they spent a lot of time outdoors. They ate a little bit of fruit and vegetables
Hmm.
that they would harvest and that were in
Yeah.
season. A little bit of honey, not a lot of sugar and carbs. And they had a very good community life. They
Yeah.
spent a lot of time with social relationships and family bonds, and they were very tribal, etc.
Yeah.
And then he also found that as these native tribes, as they started adopting Western ways, Western diets, things like that, they started getting the same diseases that we have in our Western world.
Oh,
So
that's incredible.
if we
Hmm.
can just remember to look back at our ancestors and the way they lived their lives and the way they ate and the way they thought and the way they communed with each other,
Hmm.
we could start heading towards holistic health and healing.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, Ruka, we are almost near the end of our time here. I want to ask you one more question here. If someone gave you a blank check with unlimited resources, what would be your grand vision to change the world?
My grand vision to change the
Yeah.
world. I would probably want to fill the world with holistic health and healing education, if
Yep.
possible, at the elementary school level.
I love it. Thank you so much. You've been amazing. And everyone else that's been on the show, that's been on the live, you thrive, and on the replay, you get to play again. This is Coach Raj. I just want to remind everybody, don't fake it till you make it. Instead, let's always believe it and become it. Thank you so much, Mayim. You've been amazing, and we will see everybody on the next show. Bye-bye.
When you throw a rock into a lake, what happens? No, there's a splash. You make an impact, and then you get waves. And then you don't know where those waves are going. Those waves are going past around the reeds, and you don't know where that impact is. So all of you out there, when you're on stage, you don't know where your impact is going to end. It's never going to end.